Now we're recording.
I wanted to give a couple brief announcements to everyone, just to let you know that the quarterly reports are due at the end of this month. Excuse me. You can submit them anytime. The last date on the report should have been the 31st of March. So if there's any time between now and the end, if you want to submit it early, that is more than fine. If you have any questions, please reach out to me prior to the due date so that we can go over the report together and get those submitted. What we wanted to show you is the report that goes behind the PPR cover letter. Excuse me, cover letter. So you guys right now are putting the PPR cover letter, you're submitting that, but we don't have the report attached. We have the report now. So I'm in the IWDS system. I just logged in, and under the reporting menu, the first report I wanted to show you is the participant by grant. If there's ever a chance that you don't remember your participants or what services you've opened for them or had any questions, you can just run this report. You hit LWIA 90, you put your grant number in, and then you put view report. You don't have to put a title in here. You just hit view report, and it will show you all your clients, so you'll know how many registrants you have. It shows you the open and closed dates on there, and then you can see what services you have open for your clients. So use that report. But for the quarterly report, I'm going to the reporting menu. I'm going down under grants. Make sure you pull the grant that is the 1G. It's the plan versus actual 1G. You don't need an initiative. You just need to hit LWIA 90. The quarter end date is going to be 3/31/2019, and then you find your grant number. Looks like we have a question in the chat box. You don't have access to IWDS. Right, so you have to share this information with your partner, Val. Anybody that doesn't have access to IWDS, you can send them the link to Illinois WorkNet so that they can know where this report is to pull it. But they just go to your agency. You guys are the 16s. So yours is right here, BCS, Lewis and Clark, Cabot, Prairie State. You guys are right here. And you go to your agency and just hit run report and save it as a PDF. This report goes behind the PPR page. So you have the PPR cover sheet, and this is the report that'll go right behind it. Remember, it's the plan versus actual, the 1G. So does anybody have any questions about that? Please put in the chat.
And Terry, this is Tammy. If you have a hard time, if you don't have access to IWDS and you're having a difficult time getting it from your partner, let us know, because we could really run it in here and submit it with it also. But Terry does need that report.
We be able to? Oh. All right. Does anybody have any questions?
This is Autumn. I just joined on here late. I can't join the meeting. Is it just me?
You can't join the meeting?
Yeah, it keeps saying.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, hold on. Trying to unmute all. Yes. Are you? Well, oh, sorry. I'm unmute all. Sorry. I was trying to make sure everybody was unmuted. There we go.
Autumn, you're good?
No, I'm not on there. It just says circle. It says joining meeting, and it keeps circling in the middle. It's a black screen. I can see it says Natasha's personal meeting room, conference ID number.
Oh, yeah. No, you're there. You're in the right place. I just stopped sharing my screen. That's all.
Oh, gotcha.
So when I shared can you see it now? I just shared my screen?
No.
Oh. Well, I just stopped sharing it. So if you see Natasha's personal meeting room.
It's all black, but at the very top, barely, I can see, I feel like there's a black film over it almost or something.
So I would log out and then log back into Zoom and see if that corrects it.
I did a couple times.
Okay. Well, at least you can hear us, so that's good to know.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and start doing the updates for the report. Guys, when we get to your agency, please know your participant numbers. It's really imperative. Natasha, Tammy, nor myself know your participants. We don't know how many people are in your program. and our only way to get that information is through you guys. So it is your responsibility as the grant managers to make sure we have that information, but also that it's accurate and what we're submitting to our management team is the correct information. If you're having any issues in IWDS or Illinois WorkNet, you need to let us know. If your participants aren't syncing up or you're having some issues, you got to let us know that information. Okay, all right, I have it pulled up. So Tammy, you can go ahead and get started, and I'll update it as you know, as the information is coming in.
Okay, sounds good. What we're going to be looking at is the Julio report, and this is what actually comes out of the system. She's sharing a screen right now. Okay, perfect. So this is the information that we get out of the system. We want to just kind of go through it and make sure that the information that you have in there is accurate and up to date. So BCS, do we have somebody on from BCS?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Well, we're showing that, you know, you have 54 enrolled. You have 40 of them with industry recognized credentials, 35 in work experience. Is any of this information need to be updated, or is
I was going to say, the last report I have, Tammy, do you have 44 in that report?
I do have 44 in that report.
Yeah, so Eddie, is it 44 or 40?
I can tell you right now. I have 40. I can verify why the 44 and get back to you.
Okay.
But I have 40.
And what Natasha's showing, it for anybody, when you pull this report, and you guys can pull this anytime as well. She just went to the top under reports and hit Julio report and went to youth apprenticeship. But you guys can pull this report, and what she did was she just went under, this is where we see what type of credentials you've added for your client.
So 40 is the correct number, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's the number that I have on my report, but I can verify, because I know we had a couple, and I just want to make sure that they were all entered.
Okay, well, you need to verify that, and like I said, once again, enter that stuff into the system when you earn a credential within their pathway.
And yeah, I can do that. We had a change in management in the Southland, so I just want to make sure that we have those entered, okay. The ones that we see them from the Southland.
So right, the other report, the 44, then would need to be corrected to 40, it sounds
like. I fixed it.
Okay, perfect.
Natasha, can you open it so we can show them where the breakdown is of the different credentials?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me just go down to, it's weird, but why it looks so weird. I'm hoping that if I don't show everything, there you go. Otherwise, well, still the list is still including like everything that's in there.
Okay. So this is where we can see what type of reports that your clients have. So 37 have the powered industrial truck. So one has to be changed, Eddie. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Because it's not the same wording. So can you make that update so it can sync?
Yes.
And then where's
actually it looks like there's, well, I'm just making the assumption that I don't know what's right.
Oh, there's two, yeah.
I'm not sure what if they're the same or different, but just
they all should be the same. So yeah, there's two in there you got to update and just sync it to IWDS so it can.
And if you want to know who those customers are, just click on this one, and it'll tell you which customers, so you don't have to try and figure it out.
Okay.
And that puts you at 39, and
then there's a forklift driver too.
Oh yeah, so that one has to be changed.
That would be the 40. I think one of them may be. I'll check and then I'll email you. But I think one of them may be one of the customers that may be exited.
Yeah, and then this one is like empty. So.
Yeah.
And this is probably that person. If you click on them, those individual numbers will tell you which customers they are.
Natasha, can you show them how to get to this report again? Because this is what everybody needs to look at. And I know that Jeffrey's been working with several people as far as making sure credentials are right in the system. So the credentials that you're entering, and this is actually what's being entered in IWDS because these credentials come over. So we have the credentials tied to the programs here based upon what the program is with the appropriate names. But when they're entered in IWDS, if you put a space in there in one and you don't do it in another, and then it's going to put them on different lines. So, and I know Tara had mentioned this before, the best thing to do is, have a document that has credentials names in there and do a copy paste when you're in IWDS, so you have the consistent name in IWDS under the description. And so that's key.
I'm going to show you something as soon as I cross out some of this information. I think what I'm going to just do, because I was having Cody do it today, is that, this is obviously would be like 2018 group, but I'm just going to have them add where we have search, export. I'm going to have them add like the management report. If you want me to call it Julio report, I can call it Julio report, but I was going to call it management report button right here. So it's right here with all of your people. So you don't have to remember to go up to, this reports button. It'll just bring it right here. So I'm going to ask Cody to do that today.
That'll be great. That'll be convenient. Mm-hmm.
What we had trouble with, this is Autumn, we're a WIOA. We have, and maybe no, I'm the only one that dealt with this. How I figured it out was everybody, all my career specialists, everybody was putting a new name in because we don't have a set credential. So I had to wait and go back to the exit summary sheet, and I tagged it in that way so that I knew they were consistent, because some people will put it on IWDS but we have like 4 different checks for it. So I think just knowing it might make it easier. Now, Jean, our monitor, I said, you have to do the same. Like we put, like I noticed there was CPT, MSSC, production certificate, but every career specialist gets it after me because they're co-enrolled, and everybody was changing the name, whether I put it wrong in the beginning or they thought something different. So I had to, mine were all goofy. I couldn't fix it until Jean went to the exit summary sheet. So just if anybody has that issue, because I was changing it and I would, but they had already picked the wrong one. So I had to go back into the exit summary side of it on there, not just their application. And maybe nobody knows what I'm talking about, but
so you're in IWDS, on IWDS on their exit screen is where you change their credential?
Yes. Okay. Yes, because it didn't stay on the other, because like I might have done it and said, okay, they're done. Well, they didn't want to do the MSSC, our only certificate we have. So then the career specialist changed it just because they had something they thought it should be, just because we're all not aware of it. And so it got exited the wrong. So they were kind of changing on my Julio report. And I'm like, who the heck is changing that? Is that me? So I had to go to exit summary to keep it consistent. Just FYI, if anybody has that trouble, because it took me a whole day of looking at it to figure that dang thing out.
Okay, so you have other career specialists that are putting in stuff and maybe overriding what you were putting in.
We have five youth WIOA people, so they have to be co-enrolled at our place. So they're 90, but then they're 25 too. So a lot of mine have fallen off the wagon of MSSC and they want to try something else. So I can't exit them. And then out of just lack of interest in other fields, they come back to me. And so we didn't want to have to re-enroll them in 90. So we have to do it from both sides. So that when it went to 25, it's caused a lot of havoc. And I don't check all that, because I'm doing the MSSC stuff. So now I had to go back and do a lot with the WIOA side of it. Catch a lot, I think.
Okay, so I checked the drop down that I was just shown for the individual, like for example, the one that says forklift operator safety and training. I click on that and not only one customer shows up, but 72.
Ooh, let me check you.
Oh, so it's not filtering just for yours.
I need to log in as you. Check that. Tell Cody.
So is that individual, is that the credential that they had and should have received? Is that correct?
They should all be the same credential, the one that all the remaining individuals have.
Okay, so that just needs to be changed to the title of the other credential that everybody else is sitting in.
Right.
Is that
right.
that guy that's talking? Is he a WIOA guy? Sorry, I don't know your name.
Eddie's
Hello?
from BCS.
Is that a WIOA place? I'm sorry, I don't know if they're co-enrolled with WIOA or are they not.
They're a designated site in LWIA 7.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if some people aren't WIOA, it seemed like.
Right. Yep.
So, yeah, and that might be his, maybe everything, all those are labeled, like if you do that hide credential, that's how I figured out some were GED, some were other certificates or credentials that they had acquired during that whole time. Mine were adding on there. I don't know if his is.
Yeah, I mean, when I click on the show and hide, and then I click on the ones that have something other than the 37 for, let's say, powered industrial operator permit. Like, for example, the one that says program, or if I click on the other one, those are all, there's 72 customers and they're not just the one.
Not just your customers. Okay.
Yeah,
so
that's what happened.
I just talked to Cody about it, and he's going to look at it right now.
So that should just be filtered down to your customer. So once they get that fixed, that'll just show that one customer, and then you can click on that customer and go in and change the credential. The only thing is that you got to change it in IWDS, not in WorkNet.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. And just make sure that, like I said, the naming convention is exactly the same for all customers.
Correct.
Okay. So your report's looking accurate then. You've got the 40, you've got 35 in paid work experience. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then it looks like you've got exited and placed in permanent employment. You show 15 here. Now, Tara, your report shows 30 exited, placed in permanent employment. How many is actually exited and placed in permanent employment?
So 15 are exited and placed in permanent employment.
Okay.
The 30 that she stated are the entered in employment that have not been exited yet. So we're still working on exits.
But they have permanent employment from your program, right?
Right. They were employed permanently after the completion of the program. Correct.
Okay, so we're going to keep the 30. Just let us know when they're exited because we want to make sure that 15 goes up to 30 in this system as well.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, how about Cabot? Do we have Cabot on?
Yeah, Eugene should be on. I've seen him. I think I hear him talking.
Cabot, hello? Natasha, could you move the reports back to Cabot's Julio report?
He's talking. I would go to another agency.
Okay. City of Peoria. Natasha, can you mute the one that's talking? She thinks it's Cabot. So we can hear.
Yep.
Okay, Peoria. Let's see what we've got for you guys.
Is anybody on from Peoria?
Yeah, Jan.
Okay, perfect. Awesome.
But I don't know how much help I'm going to be.
Whoa, okay. All right. Who are you? Okay, go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, do you know how many are enrolled in services? Right now, this report's showing 16, and I think we verified that there's 20. Do you know how many people you've enrolled in the training program yet?
In total, there has been 20.
20? Okay.
But
Okay.
we've had, I think they exited out one person.
So we're missing 4 people on this report.
Yeah, you need to have your staff take a look at that in this report because you're showing only 16 as being enrolled. So you need to identify who those other 4 people are. So we can make sure that they're showing up.
Okay.
You guys got to take notes during this call, though. It's like we're going over things that you guys got to do. So it's up to you guys to take notes, and either you're the person that does it or you're delegating it to someone within your agency that do, to complete the work. But we're just telling you what we see.
Right.
So you guys have to do the work and figure it out.
And just for clarification, like Tara's got an Excel report that she keeps separate, so she's communicated with you guys on other occasions on these numbers. And so what we're trying to do is this is information that you provided to her. Is this is where we're at. Now we're looking at it compared to what's in the screen and seeing if there's gaps. So in this particular case, somebody from Peoria Public Schools identified 20 people enrolled, but on this report we're showing 16. So we need to figure out where those other 4 are, why they're not showing up on this Julio report. Does that make sense?
Yes and no, because these people they either didn't stay in the program. She started out with a number, but these are the people that actually completed the program. The 16 are the ones that actually, we have 7 in there currently, and the other 8 are people, or 7 have completed the program completely.
So then did these individuals go through, did they become registrants? Did they go through the whole WIOA process and become registrants in the program?
Yes.
The 16 or the 20?
The 16.
Okay. Okay. And Terry, we may want to pull the WIOA IWDS report sometime too.
Yeah, go ahead, keep going. And
I would suggest, and like I said, the only reason I'm on the call is because nobody was, I'm covering for the program director.
Okay.
We have a case manager starting on the 22nd. The director will be back from maternity leave on the 22nd. So they will, whatever they need to do to get up to speed, to take over, I'll relay messages to them. But and I don't know what help I can be in this instance because I don't know a lot about it.
But I know you guys sent us several emails. You wanted someone to have access to the system?
Yeah, there's a new director coming on board too.
Yeah, whoever.
So you're going to have all new players. The only thing that's going to be consistent is I'm going to finish up the fiscal part and pass that on to the director.
Okay, it shows 16 participants in IWDS.
Okay, so maybe that 20 we need to change.
So it's not 20, it's 16. Let me do that right now.
Okay. And then how about work experience? Right now in the system, you're showing 3 people that are in paid work experience. The report that I know Terry had before was 13. That would be something else that we would need to take a look at and see.
Okay.
How many people are actually receiving paid work experience? And then we show 4 exited. So, Tara, on your report, you had 2, so they probably have had 2 more exited with permanent employment.
Okay, so the 3 questions you need is the total number of participants, 16 or 20. We need to clarify that.
Correct.
And
paid work experience is that 13 is what we show on the one report, but you're saying 3. So how many people are actually in paid work experience?
Okay.
But that's something we can't wait until the 22nd to find out. Just want to put that, like somebody, I don't know who on your staff would have that information, but somebody, either the local workforce maybe, or whoever you guys are working with, but we can't wait till the 22nd to find out.
Yeah, I know Andrea's been working with someone. That's why when you said you had some updated information, she's probably the person that you spoke with. She's at a conference today, at a conference, an engineering conference, and was not available to get on the call. So I'll get with her when she's tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Natasha, is it Natasha she needs to talk with?
She could just put Tara and Tammy on an email and just let us know the numbers.
Okay.
Natasha, let's go do Lincoln Land Community College. Do we have anybody on from Lincoln Land? Or not Lincoln Land, I'm sorry, Lewis and Clark. Really confused everybody.
I think Val is on.
Val, are you on?
I'm on. Sabrina,
oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Sabrina, perfect.
Okay, sorry, I was just trying to unmute.
Okay. So we're showing that you've got 58 enrolled, and that's what we have on the Tara's report also. Do you have 2 pending still? Will you have 60? Is that the plan?
Sabrina. Uh-oh, did we lose her?
I don't know where she went, but I know we have
there and just muted on accident.
I'm like, I know we have 2 in incurrent status.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Gotcha. So that looks accurate. And then you've got 41 with Credential.
Okay.
It should be 43.
It should
right?
be 43, correct.
All right, so we got to find those two.
And I've got, it should be 38 with a PACT, 2 with a CNA, 3 with a forklift. And those are my 43 as of right now.
Gotcha. And Natasha, correct me if I'm wrong, but on this, if you go to the management report that they're going to put up there, and if you click on that 41, it'll give you the customers. So what you need to do is just identify.
I think the thing right the second, like I said, it was doing that. I don't know, we must have made an update, and so Cody's looking at it like right now. I was going to see if he could try to get it fixed before the end of the call.
Okay.
I thought it was showing them. I was able to get in there.
Okay.
But that'd be the quick way of identifying what's missing, who's missing with Credential.
Okay. I'm testing it off to the side.
We lost our screen, Natasha.
No, I know. I'm testing it off to the side, so I don't.
Okay, to see if it's showing the 41.
Yeah.
And then, so you got 34. Do you have 34 with internships and 8 with paid work experience? Is that accurate?
Yes, 8 with paid work experience and 34 with internships.
Are the internships paid or non-paid?
Non-paid.
Non-paid. So how are you guys going to make your 20% requirement in work-based learning in the budget?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is work-based learning only paid?
It's the 20% of your grant set aside for paid work experience.
Well, and it could be other functions of it. So work-based learning, I know Tara shared this with you. There is a DOL desk reference that talks about work-based learning and what the components are. So it's the salaries that are paid, like in paid work experience, but it's also, you can cover costs of setting those up. So it'd be staff costs associated with establishing the work sites and that kind of thing too.
Yes, and we're covered there.
Okay. And Tara, we should probably, I don't know if we have anything specific here that identifies all of the costs, but we can share that. We can see from fiscal, because, it does include your hours for setting that type of stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then exited, placed in post-secondary education. So it looks like you've 18, is that correct?
So,
or we'll say 13.
Well, I had 13. So I don't know where there is a discrepancy there. And then I had, hold on a second.
Which number?
Val, what do you see? I had 13 in post-secondary. And
post-secondary 13, okay.
I think that the difference is who's exited versus
who's not exited.
Right.
But what should the number be?
13.
Okay.
13.
For post-secondary, what about permanent employment?
And then for employment, it should be, hold on a second, 9.
9, let me update. 9.
So Natasha, did that work when you pulled it off? Did it just bring up their numbers? Did I lose Natasha?
Yeah. I mean, it's showing. We're showing. I can see. Okay. I can see what's on the screen is what's in our report.
Okay. So then, like I said, once again, this is a really quick way of identifying who you're missing. You would just click on that 2 and see who those individuals are. And then you said currently for post-secondary, you should have 13. So you're missing 11. So you can identify who those 11 are and then go into IWDS and exit them with the post-secondary.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And the same way with the employed, it's showing 8 right now. So we're missing 1 that's not probably employed, but you just haven't exited them yet.
Okay.
And that's a big push that we're doing right now too. And I know Tara's been working with you. She sent out lists of individuals who've been sitting out there that's like over 100 and some days. We, with these grants, we really need to focus on getting the exits done in a timely manner, because if you're done with them, you're not providing any more services, then we need to exit them. And
right. And so the issue that we were showing with the providing services between us and what was in IWDS is that we were still providing case management, And so we were putting that into Illinois WorkNet. So I know it showed up that maybe there was like 29 open services at one point that were not being closed out in Illinois in IWDS. And from what we're understanding is that they don't have a case management option. It's if they've done an ISS, they open it and they have to close it right away, even though we're still providing the case management services. So I don't know if...
I think you're saying two different things, though. So the ISS is the career plan. You only open that one time. That should be the first service for any client. But once you open it once, you're done with it. You won't open an ISS again.
I know, and I understand that. But in IWDS, what they're telling us is that they don't have a case management option.
Well, they do. Yeah, you do. But the problem with case management in IWDS is it's a same-day service. Mm-hmm. So this is what you're doing is great. You can case note it in Illinois WorkNet. It'll transfer over into IWDS. The problem is that with case management, anytime you're doing case management, you need to go in and add an episode, because it's not going to change that end date unless you add an episode. So when we're looking at them in here, we're looking at some people that may be sitting there for 100+ days that, have finished their other services and there's nothing that's been added to them. There's no services have been updated for like 100 some days. But we can go into the case notes and we can see, well, they had case notes in last month. So they're still obviously doing case management. It's just that, and unfortunately in IWDS, you have to, it's not a closing that case. It doesn't stay open. It's a same day service. So you have to go in and add an episode. And I would recommend, if you're case noting in Illinois WorkNet and you're working with them at least once a month, go into IWDS, open your case management, add an episode. You can put a case note in there, and then that'll change that end date.
Okay, so that's where we're having an issue. So I'll go ahead and let them know that that's how we'll move
like
forward.
I said, if you could once a month, if you would do that, just so that way we'll know you're still working with them. Because, a lot of times the other ones will stay open. So if they're in training, it'll stay open until you exit it. But if you've exited them from training and you've exited them from all of the other services and all you're doing is case management, then you need to make sure that you're going in and updating that.
Okay. Yes. Because case management for us is we're still helping them do like job seeking or, secondary support and things like that. So we don't want to just delete it out that we're not doing.
No, I agree. And, and honestly, you should at least have at least a monthly case note, for all customers. Even if they're getting services and their services is still open, you should at least have, a monthly case note saying you're doing follow-up and this is,
Right. Okay. All right. So we'll take care of that. Thank you.
Okay. So once again, just take a look at this report, click on those links, and then whoever's missing, identify who they are, and then you're going to have to go into IWDS and do their exits.
Okay.
So, Tammy, it's Autumn. I got a question.
Yeah.
So if we've put somebody to follow up and they're done, so when we do the monthly follow-up for a year, so I should be going into IWDS side and adding an episode. So that's probably my problem too, right?
Yes, and follow up.
Is that what you're?
Yep.
Okay.
Because
we do it through, like, we have a person every month, like some of them didn't want to follow. We have them in follow-up because they do not want any part of our service. And unless they sign a note saying not to call them every month and ask them, then we still do that. But I don't think we're adding that episode. And I do see a couple of them will show up on not exited or whatever through WorkNet. So maybe that's my problem, huh?
Well, if they're exited, it should show up in IWDS. It should definitely sync with WorkNet as being exited.
Okay.
Okay. With follow-up, they were already exited, so it's just a matter of adding case notes, and it's supposed to be two-way communication. I know that's difficult sometimes because these people don't communicate.
Right.
But the two, I think the instances where it's not required is, like you said, if the customer flat out said, I don't want to be followed up on, and you put that in documentation, and then you don't have to do it on a monthly basis. Or if, you can identify that they've just gone missing. You just have tried everything that you possibly can to communicate with these people, and we can't find them.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, Don, that's right. You're putting follow-up for exit. You don't do follow-up before, because that starts for everyone. Just to remember, these grants, you have to do a year of follow-up. So that's how you know when your clock starts for those clients, when you've exited them out of the program and you have your follow-up.
And in IWDS, the actual exit date, and Jim is the expert in this, but so it counts back the last date of the service. So it's, it's going to be based upon that last specific date of the service that you put in. So it's two things. First of all, if you're still working with a customer, you have to exit them. You're supposed to have them exited within like that 90 days. So if you're done with them, go make sure you have all of their services closed, nothing's open, exit the customers. And then your follow-up is based upon the last date of a service. So you may actually do an exit later on, but the exit date is going to be the very last date of a service that was provided. And then it's a year after that. So, and then the 90-day, like I said, you have to have them in the system. You have to go through the exit process. You should do it, no more than 90 days out too. I think you have like 100 days, 110 or something like that. But just, if you're done with them, just get in there and just exit them.
And for the agencies that we sent emails out to, I know yesterday we followed up with you guys. Please respond back to that email regarding your clients and either adding a service for them or exiting them out of the program. We need to hear back from you guys regarding that.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Metricon. Autumn, how are we doing?
Yes, doing well.
Looks like enrolled on Tara's report, we got 12. You got 13 now, huh?
Yep, 13.
Awesome. Okay.
13 in the pro. Okay, so let me update that.
I see that on the Julio, but
yeah. So you got 5 with Credential.
yes. One's a GED though. One's a GED. So
Okay.
I know Tara's working on that not to be part of, and then the other 4 are the CPT Credential.
And then how many do you have in work experience? It's showing 10, but Tara had 11 on her report.
10. We have 10.
10?
Okay, so let me
Yeah.
So we have 9 in paid work experience and 2 in private OJT. So what's
Yes.
but that makes it 11. So one of them.
Yeah, that's one guy was both, with 2 different things.
One was in both. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's why that one's goofy.
So I'm going to take him, just so our numbers match, I'm going to only put him in the OJT. Where's he at now? Let me just say, where's he at now?
Sean Donaldson, he's OJT.
Okay, so I'm going to take him out just so our numbers match on this report.
Sure.
But it is 10 there.
Yep.
It shows it in the management report because, you can be in multiple ones. So that's why this is unduplicated count. And then the details are right here that shows that there's an each.
Yeah, and I think it's important that we obviously keep that for, what they're doing. I think Tara's talking about her Excel spreadsheet. But you may just want to leave that in there, Tara, because that is factual.
Yeah, I just want to, let me see how to note this in here.
Just put.
I'm just going to put one student. Go ahead. That's good.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, and so then we have, how many do you have?
No, one guy did post education, but he's kind of borderline autistic, but we did bring him back to a work experience, one of my guys. So he's not on as he made it not even 2 weeks.
Gotcha. And then Tara, you have on yours for permanent employment. Do you have any of them permanently employed yet or no?
No. Okay. Well, I have some permanent, but the 2 are still in an OJT, work experience OJT. I will by the end of the grant, I should say that. And then the other ones, they've not made it, or I'm trying to circle them back around, because they kind of, on my workforce, they fall back to this MSSC as a last resort. Like they start it, ooh, I don't like this. They look at the short-term gratification, and then they come back to me. So it's kind of been a vicious circle. Like the 3 I have in the program now, I can't even get them to get past the first module. It's really been a struggle. So, I think by the end, I will have probably 6 that get permanent employment from this grant, but some of them have not finished the 4 modules on mine, and they've gone into a completely different line of employment.
Okay, so that just shift to 0.
That should be 0.
Yeah, I have nobody in employment from this credential, which seems odd. But they have circled back around. They're staying motivated.
Okay. Methodist. Do we have anybody on from Methodist?
I was going to say, can you go to Cabot? It looks
Oh,
like
yeah.
Eugene's back on.
Cabot? Do you have anybody from Cabot on?
He just messaged me. Eugene, can you, I don't know if your phone is unmuted or not, or if you're using your computer speakers.
Okay, well, we'll give him some more time then. Methodist, do we have anybody from Methodist on?
Okay.
Manufacturing Renaissance. Anybody from Manufacturing Renaissance on?
Hey, Tara, this is Isa. I'm on a call.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so what we are showing for you is 44 enrolled. That's accurate, right?
Yep.
You've got 20 that have earned Credential.
The system, for some reason, when it's Credential, the system is counting graduation, like if they graduated high school, as a credential as well. So if you're asking just about credentials, we only have 7.
7? Okay.
Let me make sure I'm right. Oh, yep, 7. Okay.
Okay, Natasha, can we make a note of that? We're going to have to take a look and see how that's being counted.
I mean, we can look at that, but considering how the information is, put into IWDS, I think it's just put as like a diploma. So it doesn't differentiate between, different types of those types of credentials.
And maybe we need another line in the Julio report that actually shows the diplomas. So these are individuals that are in,
there's a select
graduating from high school.
Options that you can choose, like, I can't remember what they are, but one's like certificate, diploma,
Right.
we can look at those options and filter it down.
Okay. We'll take a look at that then and see, because these are really that's not really an industry recognized credential based upon this title here, if it's a diploma.
Right. At this time, when I asked Jim for instruction, he said that it is coded under credentials because they did graduate and it needs to be recognized in the system, but it doesn't offer, there's no way to differentiate it when you're looking at it from your end unless you actually go into the system and look at what it is.
What it is there. Okay. Okay. So that may be something we'll need to take a look at in the Julio report too, so we can distinguish that a little bit better then. Okay. So work experience, you had 14 that were in a work experience. It looks like they were internships. Is that correct?
Yep. There were 14 from last year.
Okay. Were they paid work experience or internships or?
They were internships.
Internships. Okay. And I'm not sure, did you, on your grant, did you have the 20% for, because I know these were the first round and I'm not sure that the 20% work-based learning, is that in your grant?
We have 20% work-based learning. I would say yes, just off of, they did job shadow and then they did internships. So we had 25 students last year, so 14 of them went on internships. That would be at least half of them had a work-based experience.
Work-based experience. Okay. Okay. And that's something I think that, we need to bring to you guys too, to all of our youth groups, is what is considered to be chargeable under work-based learning in the grant agreements. So we'll bring that presentation to you from our fiscal people to make sure that everybody, because I know that an internship is work-based learning, but like job shadowing is not necessarily a work-based learning component. And so we'll have to bring our fiscal people in as far as what can be charged under that 20% when we're looking at work-based learning. Okay.
No problem. I mean, we right now, as of this year, we don't have anybody in internship. Internship is next week, and we have 6 projected to go on internships for next week.
Okay. Let me add that.
Okay, so 6. Okay.
Okay, and then so exited. We're not showing anybody exited at this point on the Julio report.
Well, I'm not sure that the Julio report has a column for exited, but we do have a column for how many students are in college and a column for work, and so that's where you would see that number. So we have 8 students currently in post-secondary education, and we have no students at work. So last year we had 15 graduates.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, 8 of them are working and the other 7, 8 of them are in school, and the other 7 are not working in a manufacturing job. So that would be the total 15 exited.
Okay, so 8 of them are, and so you don't have anybody employed right now then?
No.
Okay. Okay. And like I said, once you start doing the exits, this should show up on the report.
It should be. It's in WorkNet. So if you go into WorkNet, there will be I'm not sure where it is in the WorkNet dashboard, but Natasha, I'm sure, will be able to navigate to it. I'm actually en route right now with the student to get them registered with CPS for internship, so I'm not at my computer. But there should be on the WorkNet reporting where it says 15 exited.
Okay.
Or actually 16. 16 should be exited. And just this morning, Paula assisted me with a 17th student who's exited due to personal issues. So there should be 17 as of today that are exited in WorkNet.
Okay.
But when you exit them, so you're saying there's 17 exited, and then of the 17, 8 are exited into post-secondary.
Yep.
And then the other ones are exited with no jobs, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And Tara, I know that you've been working with Leslie and Ted on the job portion for follow-up.
Yeah.
Which one are we looking at? Because obviously I'm picking up something wrong on I picked the wrong person.
No, you're on the right one, MR.
So it's not showing anything in this particular report.
It's not showing anything in Illinois WorkNet, I said it's not showing anybody in post-secondary education.
Well, I can send Natasha another email about it, but that was my question. It's in IWDS. Like, you have to code it in IWDS once you exit them. Is what's the exiter reason? So I know that it's in IWDS because that's how I exited them. I'm not sure why it's not transferring to WorkNet, or if there's another. I looked at each student's task bar, and unless I'm just missing it, is there a task bar in WorkNet that I have to code it there as well, or should it sync from IWDS?
Should be coming from. All right.
So while we're doing that, this also just sparked, I remembered, several people have been reaching out and asking me when the next round of grants are coming out. And so I just want to remind you guys that we don't have anything coming out right now as far as any new grants from our department. As you know, we do have a new governor, so we're trying to get through that process of onboarding and things like that. But you guys are the first group to go through the Career Pathways grant. So that is something that will weigh in on your like performance measures. So if you come in for another grant, that is something to add to your application, that you were a previous recipient of these grants. But that is something we look at in putting out new grants or adding individuals to any future funding, is how you did with this grant, and just communication and budget and all that stuff. So please keep that in mind for the folks that were asking about other grant opportunities.
Okay, so just real quick. So the Julio report, so we need to update the Julio report because we have exited, placed in post-secondary, exited permanent employment, exited enrolled in apprenticeship. But I looked at their dashboard, they have 15 exited people, but there are 15 exited people with an industry recognized credential and a measurable skills gain. Those other things aren't options on the Julio report. That's why they're not showing up on the Julio report.
Wait, go back. I thought it was right there. Yeah, customers who are enrolled in post-secondary at exit.
No, their customers earned an industry recognized credential. Post-secondary has a 0. Measurable skills gain, yes. Industry recognized credential, yes.
All right, so what do we need to do again?
Well, I think what we need to take a look at is the post-secondary education and see if they are exited post-secondary education IWDS. It should be showing up here as a 15. So the first question is, why is it not there?
Yeah.
If it's synced.
Well,
so we'll take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, if you are you saying all 15 of them are in post-secondary?
No, Natasha, what I'm saying is when you exit the students, you have to give a reason why they were exited in IWDS. It requires one in the drop down. So all of them have achieved a measurable skill gain and a credential of graduating high school, all 15 of them. Right. And then in IWDS, it asks you to submit what are they doing after they graduate? Are they going into jobs? Are they going into post-secondary? Or did they just graduate and that's it? So you'll see for the 8 that went into college, I selected an IWDS that they're graduating, going to post-secondary, like they're going to college. Right. So it should, I'm not sure why IWDS is not showing that to your WorkNet site, like why it's not transferring. I can certainly, when I get back into the office today, screenshot it for you if you just want to see what I'm looking at in IWDS, so you can see that. To make sure that
yeah, we can pull that up. We can pull up that report and look at it. So we just need to see why it's not syncing, because if you've got 8 that should be showing up as in education, continuing education on the Julio report, and they're not showing up right now. So we'll document that, and we'll have to take a look and see why they're not showing up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. It may be because like the permanent employment, like those are showing, like I think we saw some on.
But Tara does, on the Julio report that we receive and I fill out, it is noted on that report and that Excel kind of document that 8 are in school. So you will see 8 there. We did have, so you'll have that at least. And then there are none right now currently working.
Yep, I have it on mine. We were just saying in the computer system.
Yeah, I'm just saying that we need to either look at the person or the way it's being entered, because like Cabot and Lewis and Clark, they have stuff entered for both of those and it's showing through. So we either need to look at those specific people and see what's going on, or maybe it's just not being entered, it's being entered differently. I don't know.
Okay.
We just need to figure out why.
If you want to just communicate with us when you have a chance and let us know who those customers are, we can take a
look.
Sure,
I can do that today.
Why
I can do that
the
when I get back in the office.
Okay, perfect.
Can you go to the Cabot group next? I think, Eugene, are you back now? Okay, never mind. I thought he had messaged me again.
Okay, OAI.
I'll just bring them both up, and then that way.
Okay. Do we have anyone from OAI on?
Yeah, hi, this is Don.
Hi, Don.
Good morning.
Okay, we want to check your numbers. So you have got...
I picked the wrong one.
Okay, so hold on. Eugene, can you talk to us on the phone? Or can you get that? I don't, if you can call in while we're doing OAI, and then we'll talk to you.
Okay, so we're looking at 19 enrolled.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
19 earning credentials. You have 14 with NIMS and 19 forklifts, so they have multiple credentials here, it looks like. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
Natasha, can you show the credentials for these guys? Oh, there's a bunch of them.
No, it's just the overall list. I mean, it's going to be the overall list. So
I should.
9 in high school diploma, 1 for NIMS, looks like.
Yeah, there should be more than those.
And then they have another NIMS, level 1.
Yeah.
There's a bench work layout. These 2 look like it's just the way it was entered in there. Like this dash is behind the level, and this dash is behind the 1. So if you just change this one to be right there, then those will match up and make that 12.
Yeah, there should really be only 2 NIMS categories that the group, that the cohort earned. That would be measurement, materials, and safety, and then the job planning. So however those are labeled, those would be the 2 that we provide.
Yeah, that's what we're showing. She's just saying with you see how it says the level 1? This is how sensitive the system is, and this is a great example for everyone. Just because he has the dash after the 1 in the first one, and then the dash is before the 1 in the second one, it's counting it as 2 different credentials. So if you just click, you see it, Don?
Yeah.
So if you just click on that one
agree.
Student, if you just click on that one student, and take the dash out and put it behind the 1, it's going to move your 11 to 12.
Okay.
It's going to move that student up. So if you could just hit that one student and move the dash, you'll be good to go.
And it has to be updated
and once
in
again,
IWDS.
yeah,
And
you
the
have to do
same
that in
thing with
IWDS.
this one. If this one, I don't know who's this, but anyway, we'll have to work
So
on
these aren't the categories that Jeff created, recreated?
We're going to have you guys do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like he cleaned it up a little bit, but it looks like it's still coming over. So whoever that one student is, just copy the credential from one of the 11, you know what I mean? So that you know it's labeled the exact same way, and just put it in for that one student.
Same for these.
We got a lot of background noise.
Hold on, I gotta mute. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, and like Tara said, Jeff did do some cleanup, but there's still some obviously that needs to be done. And it could be that a new credential was added for somebody after you did the cleanup.
Yeah.
So the recommendation is for you guys to look at this report and look at the credentials and make sure. And once again, it has to be done in IWDS. But look at this, and if the credentials are, you know, if you got multiple categories, but it should be the same category, then you need to go into IWDS and put that same name in for each of the individuals for the credential.
And you have access, Don, because you have it for your new grant, so you can just go in under your old grant and do it.
Yeah. All right, I'll do that in IWDS.
Okay. And then it looked like there was the same issue with the go down for the forklift too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have two that's out there floating. So whoever those two are, just, you know, like we said, just, oh, three, sorry.
Actually,
Yeah.
4, 1, 2,
5, yeah. So the total is 19 in that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just send us an email when it's done, and I'll run the report again, Don, to make sure they're coming over, and we'll be good to go.
All right.
All right, let's try Cabot one more time.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. I was monitoring everything by the computer.
Okay, which one for you? We've got 24 enrolled. On Terry's report, you've got 27. So is there some that are not quite registered yet in the system?
I don't. I'm going to check that. You said it's 24 enrolled. We say 27, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I don't have that report in front of me, but I will check that out and find out what's the difference of the three. Because Ms. Parrish is not in today, so that's why I'm on.
Okay. Have a check the credentials too, because right now in the Julio report, you're showing 6 credentials. And then what you provided with Tara earlier, there's 13, you had 7 that had a serve safe, and then 6 with customer service.
Correct.
So, and it may be what those customers.
We need to add 7 more credentials in the system then.
Yeah, and what is a customer service credential? What is that?
That is something, well, it's done with, oh God, what's the name of the organization? It's an actual 5-day course that they have to go through to earn the credential. I don't have it in front of me, but it's a 5-day course that they do.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then, like I said, once again, if you go into the WorkNet system and look under the credentials, you can click on the people that are in there and then see what you're missing then. And then that has to be put in IWDS with consistent names. Natasha, go ahead and click on that, show hide credentials, and let's see what those 6 look like if they're all in the same spot.
And I wanted to answer your question you had, Eugene. You said who do we contact regarding exit issues? Just put us put us on the email and then just ask Jim Potts.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, so you're showing 1 that's a customer service, or 3 customer service and sales. You got 1 with a high school diploma. 1 with a serve safe, and 1 with retail industry fundamentals.
2.
Or 2.
2 more.
Yeah. So, and once again, you do have the difference between those is your expiration dates. Tara, what's your thought? I mean, should we? They
should
should
take the expiration
dates
out. Yeah, you need to take the expiration dates out, and then it'll sync up.
Okay. All right. So,
but it's still missing some because you're still missing 5 people because it's only 2.
Missing expiration dates.
Mm-hmm. So some of these individuals.
Take expiration dates out, and then we have to reconcile the credentials. Okay.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
And so employment, you're showing exited, placed in post-secondary
What's
education.
the work
5.
experience.
Oh, let me let me minimize this.
Work experience, you didn't show anybody in work experience.
And that's not true. We need to put those in there. We do have some in work experience. We'll add work experience clients. Okay.
And then placed in post-secondary?
We have, it's a permanent employment. Okay.
And it looks like it's in sync from what you've told Tara as far as your exited for education and employment. Those numbers correlate. So the big one is that to your work experience, make sure you're identifying that service in IWDS, and then you also need to look at your credentials and reconcile those.
Okay. So IWDS. Got it. Okay.
And then once again, you had 24 in the Hulu report, and there was 27 on hers. So are you missing a couple customers?
Right.
3 customers.
All right. I took all my notes.
If you could just send us an email once everything's complete, we'll run the report again to make sure the numbers are updated.
Okay. I will do so. I'll make sure that gets done.
Okay. Where are we at? Are we on Phalanx now?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go on Phalanx. And we've already covered you guys. You can go ahead and drop off if you want to. I know we're running over time. If that's okay with Sarah, you okay with that? Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Phalanx. We are looking at.
And Val, make sure you stay on because you had a question for us.
Yeah. 23 enrolled on the tour report. You showing 24, so there may be 1 shy. So you want to look in there and see if you're missing somebody from that. Your industry recognized credentials, you're showing 23 NCCERs. You got 23 on the Hulu report. Natasha, can you click that down and let's see if they're all 23 in the same area, or if there's some cleanup that needs to be done with that. So. Construction and safety. Who do we have on with Phalanx?
Oh, they're not on. We might have to put that poll back up, Natasha, at the beginning of this call.
What's that?
That poll we used to have for them to click on.
Yeah.
We can go to the next one since they're not on.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on. Do we have anybody from Peoria Public Schools? Are they still on?
I don't think so either. And I don't think Youth Build Lake County's on. Marcia from Youth Build McLean County, they still on?
What about Prairie State? Oh, wait a minute. Is that a...
Okay. You're sitting in for Tracy. That's fine. Can you talk on the phone? Hold on 1 second. She's on. I think she's.
Okay.
You can either talk through your computer speakers or you can talk through the phone. Not at the moment. You can't talk on the phone?
I'm afraid.
Oh, okay.
I'm sitting for Tracy.
Okay, well, we need to verify I guess we'll verify the numbers through chat. Or you can chat the number. Tammy, you can go through the numbers. Marcia, you can just put the information in the chat box.
Okay, who's this for again?
Youth Build McLean County.
Youth Build McLean County. Okay, so we've got, you're showing 67 enrolled, Youth Build McLean County.
She doesn't have the numbers in front of her, so okay, that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I will just tell you what we're missing, and you can take a look. So in the Hulu report, it's showing 67. According to the report that Tara had in conversation with you guys, she had 72, so you're missing a few customers there. You need to verify that you have everybody enrolled that needs to be. As far as youth earning industry recognized credentials, you have nothing in that account, and you had 64 is what you indicated with Tara on her report.
And we need to know what they got the credentials in.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a lot of work you need to do for these individuals in the IWDS system to enter the credentials. Now, Tara, are these guys working with somebody to do this, or is this something that they have access to? IWDS.
I believe they're working
with CareerLink. Yeah. Okay. So that explains that. Okay. How about if we just work on this offline, because there's work that needs to be done in here, and that may be something that we have to coordinate here at the state level to make sure all of that's getting in. But what I need for you to do is, just to verify that the number of people that are in there, and then we need to sit down with you offline and go through what they've all got, because you have 34 in work experience, and we're showing none here in work experience, and we're showing none in exited either.
So can you pull a call with us and Tracy, hopefully today or tomorrow? Because this is something, it's a lot of youth, so that's what I'm concerned about. It's 64 people, or even 72. So we gotta figure that out like soon.
And get the information in the system. And like I said, we can even potentially facilitate that. And we talked about that before at the state level. So let's work with you guys and make sure that we're getting the information in that needs to be in.
Thank you. Tell her to put Tammy and Tara on the email, and we got to get together soon to get that done.
Okay. Is that our last one then, Tara?
Yes, Lord.
That was on?
Val is on. Everybody else can get off the line if you guys
Hey, Tara.
Go ahead.
Sorry, this is Eddie. I have a question. In regards to reporting the credentials, do you guys have access to since I want to get this done ASAP, and I know that's probably going to take Natasha and Cody a little bit of time, do you guys have access to a crystal report for credentials maybe that you can send us so I can see which ones are popping that are not entered correctly, so I can get that fixed, by close of business day?
You can see that.
I was going to say, we don't need the crystal. You have, hold on, she's
going to have it.
Every time I click, I'm showing 73 customers and not the one. Remember?
Yeah, but she said Cody was going to work on it.
Hold on a second.
I just checked it like 5 minutes ago, maybe.
Well, I know he made an update because all my bullet things were all wonky.
Oh yeah, are back. Yeah.
So they said, I told him to go for it, even though he said if it seems like the system, because he pushed up, I just said go ahead and change it. While we're looking at this, why it's acting all like taking a little while. It's because he updated it.
Really, people? Oh, sorry.
Hold on, let me just.
Okay, then I guess I'll be patient because I'm looking at it right now and it's still this. Oh, now it's updated. Yep, we'll get it taken care of then. Sounds good.
Oh, so you got it to come up. I know that he was making changes to it, and that's why mine started acting all.
No, not a problem. I was checking it periodically, and it just happened that it got done.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Like Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Bye-bye.
No
go ahead with your question, Val.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm just like really. So. I have never heard of the 20% for work-based learning before.
Let me pull up your budget report. It's on your every month I send you guys a budget report, and it's right there. Hold on one second.
And you guys were the first round, so that was kind of my question too.